Even though data sufficiency questions are somewhat easier than problem-solving questions, they can get really tricky. By this time, you should have understood that test writers love tricky questions, and data sufficiency questions are no exception. The most common trap is that Statement 1 provides information which is not sufficient because it lacks a certain piece of information which test writers kindly present you in Statement 2. After reading the first statement, you intuitively look for the piece of information that was missing, and after reading Statement 2, which provides this information, you can assume, but not always correctly, the correct answer is C, and that both statements together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient. But in making such an assumption, you don't check the possibility of Statement 2 alone being sufficient, and if it is, the correct answer is B, not C. Let's work through an example. If A and B are non-zero integers, is A over B a positive number? Statement 1 says that A equals 10, and Statement 2 says that A equals B. In this case, Statement 1 alone is not sufficient as we don't know the value of B, and therefore A over B can be positive if B is greater than 0, or negative if B is less than 0. Statement 2 says that A equals B, and since we know from Statement 1 that A equals 10, we can determine that B equals 10 as well. And the wrong thing to do is to be glad that you have found the missing part of the puzzle and mark C as the correct answer. If you were attentive, you would have noticed that Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the problem. If A equals B, then no matter what the values of A and B, A over B equals 1 because any number divided by itself equals 1. Clearly, 1 is a positive number. The answer to the question is yes, and the correct answer is B. Therefore, to avoid such mistakes, evaluate each statement separately and only combine them if none is sufficient on its own.